Jeff Erickson, Jim Coventry here from RotoWire.com. Let's talk week 2 rankings, Jim. Justin Herbert was awesome against the Chiefs. One of the biggest outliers, I think, in terms of positive outliers from what we expected, number of targets, success rate, all that good stuff. How bankable is this going forward?
Here is the thing. The Chiefs were close the whole game with the Chargers, so the game script was positive. This was a game you would run if you could run. They had a lead, the Chargers, most of the way. 34 passes to 18 non-quarterback runs, almost a 2-to-1 ratio pass. This was intentional, despite the team bringing in Hampton, bringing in Najee Harris, bringing in guard Mekhi Becton. I think this is their blueprint, although it goes against what we thought offensive coordinator Greg Roman would do. Justin Herbert's a superstar. I think the team may have decided to put the team on his shoulders, and that would be smart.
It would be smart. And I think also opponent base too. KC was really good stopping the run last year. One of the top rushing defenses. Why force it? Why run into the brick wall when you can go around it, throw over it? There's like a World War II metaphor right there, but we can talk about that another day. I have Herbert 10 this week in my rankings. That might be a little tame. Road game at the Las Vegas Raiders. But man, if he's anything close to what we saw in week 1, this could be a fun time.
Yeah, and I've got him at quarterback 9. We're right on the same page, in the same bucket here. We have to believe what we saw, and Herbert is a good quarterback.
All right, we talked about something very happy. Let's talk about something a little less happy here. The Seattle running game, especially if you have Kenneth Walker Jr. No burst, no secondary run. Not making that one guy miss after maybe getting to the secondary, getting to the tacklers themselves. 10 for 20. Zach Charbonnet outproduced him. Got the goal line carry, even more concerning. I still have Walker over Charbonnet this week, but man, it's close, Jim.
58% of the snaps for Zach Charbonnet. I was preaching from the mountaintops in the whole fantasy community saying, Kenneth Walker, outside zone, career. I'm like, you keep making a narrative for this guy. And here's the problem. They might have an outside zone, but they don't have a quarterback, and they have one pass catcher, JSN, Smith and Jigba. They have nobody else. So what our defense is going to do? Oh, you want to run zone? We're going to put so many bodies up front. There's no gaps. Zach Charbonnet runs downhill. Zach Charbonnet will make his own fortune. Kenneth Walker's going to keep pecking for holes. Guess what he's never going to find? Holes. He's done. He is done. So I have Charbonnet. He's the lead back in his backfield. It's done. I have him as my running back 27. Walker's my running back 33. Pittsburgh's matchup, this is not going to be favorable. The 49ers was a favorable matchup. I'm totally worried about Ken Walker.
I'm worried about Seattle as a whole, too. We saw the buzz on Torrey Horton, no targets. Elijah Arroyo barely saw the field. What are they doing? I don't understand. Game flow, they were playing catch up a decent amount of the time there, too. I don't expect much. I think I'll go one step further and say I think Pittsburgh rolls in week 2 against Seattle. That's something I'm leaning on there. Miami. Okay, I feel a little validated that I was down on Miami all preseason, all training camp. On a global perspective, I was telling it before the even before the Jalen Ramsey trade, that when it was the win total was 8.5, I was saying take the under. It's down to 7. Even after that, it went down to 7.5. Still thought I was under. What are you doing with Tyreek Hill? What are you doing with Jalen Waddle this week, Jim?
The worst thing is this is the exact same story as last year, except for Tyreek Hill doesn't have a wrist injury to complain about, which he was hurt. Shouldn't say complain. He was injured, but it was the same thing. 6 targets, 4 for 40. That was a real common stat line for him last year. Jalen Waddle, 5 targets, 4 for 30. Again, common numbers for him. This was a game that was a blowout loss, and I know they put Zach Wilson in late, but this was the same story. And there was no Jonnu Smith siphoning off targets. Devon Achane didn't even siphon targets. He didn't have a lot of targets. So my question is, Mike McDaniel, what you doing? But this team is not well coached. They don't have any more adjustments. Those clips have been emptied out of the chamber since, a couple of years ago now. Tyreek has lost something. This offense is clueless. The defense is clueless. They're soft as a team. I have Waddle as my wide receiver 46. Hill is my wide receiver 33. It's last year.
Yeah. Wow. I'm still not totally burying Hill, and maybe because I like this matchup against the Pats, especially if Gonzalez can't play. But I'm with you though. I am scared about this Dolphins team. How can you not be ready for week 1? It's how can you be flat for week 1? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I thought McDaniel was a good coach. Maybe he's a beat down man at this point in time. I just don't understand why it's happened this way.
his first year, he had some really creative ideas. The problem was they were so creative, the league was stealing them. And so they were practicing against those same concepts because they were using them. Then his second year, after things were figured out, Tua was hurt a little bit, they did that half-field motion with Tyreek, and that was beautiful. They were just humming 70 points against Denver. Remember that one? Well, then that was so good, teams stole that and knew how to defend it. He has not had a counterpunch since. So Mike McDaniel had two great ideas, but he doesn't have a third. He's proven now for well over a year, there's no counterpunch coming. It's done.
All right. Unfortunate for Dolphins fans that probably knew that they were going to hear that, but still it's probably stings to hear it nonetheless. Go check all of our work at RotoWire. Use promo code YouTube15 to get 15% off any RotoWire product, including my rankings, Jim's work, all sorts of good work. Joe Bartle's free agent article, you name it, we've got it. All right, let's talk tight ends a little bit here. Hunter Henry. A lot of talk buzz about here. Fannin, a lot of buzz about, and justifiably on Juwan Johnson, your guy, Juwan Johnson. But you can play different instruments as well. We're going to play the Hunter Henry instrument this time.
Tight end 13 for me this week. He's a borderline starter. And we go back to last year, Jeff. It was week 7 through 16. That's more than a half a season. And it was a 7 target per game average, 50 yards per game, 10.9 PPR points. This was the same game Hunter Henry had from week 7 on last year. This was 4 catches, 66 yards, 10.6, 0.3 from where he was, 8 targets, 1 target off his average. I thought Stephon Diggs would cut into Henry's workload, thinking he'd be in the middle of the field more. He was playing in a hybrid of a role. Henry's role is real. His development and rapport with his Drake May is similar to last year. So it's going to keep rolling.
All right. That's going to wrap up our week 2 rankings video. If you like this video, smash that like button. Please hit subscribe. You can hear more from Jim Coventry in those dulcet Chicago tones and see our smiling faces. And if you really like what we had to say, go check out RotoWire. Use promo code YouTube15. Get 15% off any RotoWire product. Thanks for listening. Good week in week 2. Good luck in week 2.